The Miami Dolphins are keeping their playoff hopes alive after a win on the road against Cleveland. Now they get to travel to New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. My name is Tyler here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down this Dolphins Jets Week 18 matchup. But before we get into that, if you like the content that we put out, be sure to subscribe to the Tracy Take, tackle that bell to get notified when new videos come out. While you're at it, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win and why. Ryan, Miami Dolphins, they are currently sitting at 8-8 on the season, one game back from the Denver Broncos, but they do hold the tiebreaker when it comes to conference records. So they need a Denver Broncos loss on Sunday, and the Miami Dolphins need to win as well against the Jets. The Jets, they are not playing for anything. They are going to be playing for pride because this might be kind of last time Aaron Rodgers and the gang get to play together as a new regime is coming in, and a lot of uncertainty is going to be coming towards Aaron Rodgers and a lot of the other players on the Jets. And so we'll talk about them here in a second. But Tyler Huntley led a win over the Cleveland Browns here, which is huge. Tua is out with a hip, so his status will be up in the air as well, kind of going into this matchup here. And don't really know kind of what to think of it with the Jets. Like the Jets put out a pretty dull performance against Buffalo here. It was on the road. Buffalo, if they won this game, they clinched number 2, so they had all the motivation in the world to go out and just dominate, which they did. With the Jets, it's going to be curious now, like maybe at home, maybe try to end on a high note. Miami's still playing for some, but if they're without Tua, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how both these teams respond. Like Miami's still going to be playing for a lot. I'm not trying to take anything away from that because like still – they can still make the playoffs potentially. But the Jets, though, as well, they'll be at home. Last game of everything. Maybe they'll want to go out with a bang. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But I want to throw it over to you. What do you think Miami needs to do to come out victorious here over the New York Jets?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things, this offensive line, the Jets offensive line, they're going to have to get after Aaron Rodgers, kind of disrupt him. You can definitely start to see Aaron Rodgers' age, he's lacking that elite arm strength that we're used to with him. He's not the most mobile guy at this point in his career. So getting after Aaron Rodgers, taking advantage of this weaker offensive line is going to be pretty important. And then the other thing, they're going to have to find ways to score. This is still a talented Jets defense. They still do some things pretty well. It has not been nearly as good since they got rid of Robert Saleh, but again, just man for man, this Dolphins team, they see this Jets team twice a year. They know kind of how to play this, like these Dolphins receivers, and they still have some pretty good talent there. Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. Like, so I did see Sauce Gardner got banged up in this game against the Bills, but we'll see. We'll see if he's able to go or not. So all in all, I think this is going to be a fun one. The other thing too that I think the Dolphins are going to have to do, get used to some cold weather. It's going to be just above freezing there, and the Dolphins have not won a game in like the last, like, I believe 5 or 10 years below 40 degrees. So we'll see.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but you're right though. If they do somehow make the playoffs, they're going to be playing Buffalo at Buffalo.
Yeah.
And it's I've heard that the weather's not great there this time of year. It's going to be a little opposite Miami. So
yeah, there's a reason snowbirds exist.
Pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. And so I agree with you, though. The biggest thing for me with Miami is you just kind of don't really know what team you're going to suspect. You know, like you have Tyler Huntley in there who looked manageable against Cleveland, but also earlier this year, though, like when Tua got hurt, then he was the guy that came in there. Definitely like offense against a more competent defense really kind of struggled. But at the same time, though, too, with New York, as we mentioned, like you mentioned that there's talent there, but it's like, what are they really playing for? So it's such a weird game for all the playoff expectations that are like kind of on the line. It's such kind of a weird game to think about and predict because what's Miami going to do? It's going to be on the road. They're going to be traveling again, even though they did well against Cleveland, but Cleveland is almost in the exact same scenario as New York. So it's like they're really kind of playing some Russian roulette, on like what to expect overall. I do think they have guys in there like Calais Campbell who can absolutely blow things up on that offensive line for the New York Jets, get after Aaron Rodgers. They have Jalen Ramsey going up against Devontae Adams still, and they got some other good talent as well. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Kind of want to throw it over to you for the predictions for this game here as well. We have our season-long competition So I kind of want to throw it over to you here first, let you pick, and then admittedly, I will pick the opposite team just to see if we can be competitive. But I think I'm up 10 games on you now with 1 week left to
Yeah.
go.
I
So
might have gotten a couple back today.
no, so
Uh,
that was 10. I think I won this week. I think I got three. I think we disagreed on 5 games and I got 3 of them right.
okay.
So
Well, I'll go with the Jets. I feel like just the talent's going to win out here. I think Aaron Rodgers will find some magic in what might be his last NFL game. So him, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, that they are somehow like, I don't want to say the healthier team, but it kind of feels that way. Like their skill position players are healthier right now. Brees Hall's having a good year. Like Garrett Wilson, while he's unhappy, he's still producing. Devontae Adams is still producing at a pretty high level. So, all in all, I do kind of feel like this is going to be a good showing for the Jets as they kind of wrap up this season.
I gotcha. Yeah. It's just kind of a weird game to think about because you're right. Like
Yeah,
there's pretty major injuries for Miami. Like Tua's not playing, Jalen Waddle's not
he's not
playing
playing.
as well. It's pretty much I feel like Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill, he had a pretty good game today as well, 9 catches, 105 yards, but it hasn't been like his MO all the time.
Yeah,
I will say I am going to be curious just with Miami as a whole overall. Malik Washington, he had 4 catches for 41 yards. He's been picking up a lot with Jaden Waddle out. I just thinking about it, he's got that same build as Tyreek Hill, like and very same features. Is he kind of going to be that next guy, like when Tyreek Hill moves on? Because like he's 30, and so potentially he could be on his last contract, or maybe he'd want to go to a contender. Is he going to be that guy that kind of takes his spot as well? Because with Mike McDaniel, the offense that they want to run, he kind of fits that mold. So very curious to see what happens with him in the future because it looks like he's got some potential and some opportunity as well. Also, too, I think ironically, wasn't he a 5th-round pick for them? And that was what Tyreek Hill was for the Chiefs.
I thought he was a 6th round pick. Because I thought they snagged him and then one other guy at the end of the draft. That
Malik Washington. Are we talking about Malik Washington or Tyreek Hill?
no, Malik Washington.
Okay,
Thought Malik Washington was a 6th. Tyreek Hill might have been a 5th.
he was a 5th-round pick in 2016 by KC. I
Yeah.
guess if I just use the
Either
internet,
way, they were
he was
mid.
he was a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, either way,
Malik Washington was.
they were both like mid late day 3 picks. And Malik Washington, I mean, he had really good movement skills coming out of USC, just not a lot of production. And also, guys that size don't typically work out the way that Tyreek Hill does.
Well, and that's what Tyreek Hill, he towers over Malik Washington. Tyreek Hill's 5'10", and Malik Washington's 5'8". So he just
Yeah.
towers over him.
Oh, yeah,
so.
yeah.
No, I'm just playing that. But
I meant I was including Tyreek Hill in the size of guys that don't work out like Tyreek Hill does.
I know. I'm just excited for the postseason, excited for the 2025 offseason, excited to see if Miami makes it also.
Yeah. So I'm going to say they won't. You are going to say that they at least do help themselves with some favors here going into the postseason. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Miami Dolphins? Will it be the New York Jets? And other than that, we'll see you guys next time.